Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. I hope that everybody is fine. I welcome you all to my 38th lecture. We have started our new topic, and that is interview skills. In my last lecture, I told you about interview and its definition. And definition was continue. So I'm going to resume the definition where I left in my previous lecture. So it is a meeting of minimum two expert or candidate. Normally, the interview takes place between two people. One of them is expert, other one is candidate. I have already told you what is expert, and who is candidate. Expert is one who conducts an interview, who asks question, and who is an interviewer. Candidate is one who is being interviewed, who is an interviewee, and who answers the question. Later on, I told you that it's arranged to examine the suitability of the candidate. It's arranged to evaluate, to analyze, to know the suitability means ability of a candidate whether he deserves this job or not, whether he or she suits this job or not, whether or not she or he uh, becomes able to have this job or not. Okay, later on, the third and very important part of definition: interview is conducted for the sake of that it interview basically is tested for subject knowledge, skills, and desired behavior in a very limited time. Now this line carries three things. One of them is tested for subject knowledge. For example, here we have at VTC have different people who belong to different trades. Some of them are the part of computer science, some of them are part of mechanical, some of the part of machine, RACT, and then electrical electronics. Means there are number of trades here at our VTC. What happens basically here? Subject knowledge means what kind of and how much do you know about your subjects. How do you know, or how much you are capable enough to answer them when the questions are asked about your subject. Okay, so you are tested for your subject knowledge. If you are an expert in computer, definitely questions about computers competency and its usage and its utility will be asked. Okay, how do you utilize it, how do you use it, and so on. Okay, and then skills, whether you are skilled or not. I would like to let you know that basically skill as an interview is a skill, so your skills are being judged. How will you manage this thing, and how you will work there, and how you are skilled, and so on. And the next one is desired behavior in a very limited time. Means what kind of behavior you will adopt, you will show to your company, to your organization, when you will be selected. And basically they judge your behavior as well, that how do you react when you are asked different tricky questions, how do you react when you are asked uh, you know uh, you know difficult questions, and how do you respond, and how do you react, how do you answer when you are put in a hot water. So everything is tested when you are in an interview room. I have got with me another definition that will clear your concept later on. And this is basically the interview is a conversation between two people. Conversation means it's a discussion. Conversation means it's a dialogue. Conversation means it's a talk between two people, the interviewer and the interviewee, where questions are asked by the interviewer to obtain information from the interviewee. It's indeed the truth that the interviewer asks the questions in order to obtain information from you. Now I may let you know that This is the second stage of getting the job. One of the stages that you already clear is appearing in a test. In a written test, you appear, you qualify it, and then you go and then you sit in interview room and interviewer comes and he or she asks you the questions. Now, what happens basically when you are in interview hall, when you are in interview room, and when the expert asks you question, now expert knows you very well right now because expert has gone through your CV, number one. Number two, expert knows that you have qualified the test. It means you are talented one, it means you are able one, it means you are qualified person, therefore you are here sitting before the interviewer. So having known all these things, he sets the ground for you and then he asks the question. So before the interviewer, right now you are the qualified person because you have qualified the test. Okay, later on, the next thing is interview means different things. The word interview can stand for different things. For example, now you must not be confused with this word. The interview means the only interview that is of the job. No. Interviews are of many kinds, are of many types, are of different natures. Sometimes you go and you ask the questions from your, uh, administrative people, means you go and ask them questions, GC, SP, and then different people. You conduct interview of prime minister and so on. These are not the job interviews, these are simple interviews. Here these will be explained further. For example, a reporter interviews a celebrity for television. It's a kind of interview. This kind of interviews can be one on one, but usually when it comes to television, there are many reporters from different channels, so this is kind of interview as well. There are also job interviews where a person has to go through in order to get a job he wants. Job interviews are usually face-to-face interviews, and it includes paperwork. Definitely, when you are before the interviewer and he asks or she asks you different questions, later on you respond them, you talk to them, and you try to build your confidence in order to be successful in your interviewer. So these things happen when you are before interviewer who is expert, and you have basically come there in order to get the job. Now you need to give 100% there because requires your job. It is the question of and matter of your job. Once you perform better, once you perform good, then you get the job. Otherwise, if you perform poor and you do not work well and you do not respond properly, so you don't get or you don't have the desired job. I hope that whatever I have told you, we have got it very clearly and very easily. Inshallah, in my next lecture, I will discuss different types of interview. Till that, stay blessed, stay safe, and stay at home. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.